Hey guys, Palmer here from Penny Stock Quest. It is Sunday, July 30th, about 8:30 in the morning, and just trying to, work on the plan for the week coming up on a few stocks, and pending other things that are going to be happening in the morning or during the day, which always do. So this is not set in stone. This is just a few things too that I have taken note of on some recent moves that are happening. So um, last week was kind of crappy because of my connection and work schedule. So I was getting to the market late, um, and my service was just crap. And I did buy this this network extender from Verizon, but you have to have your Ethernet cable hooked up to it. You have to have a GPS antenna hooked up to it and all this other stuff, but that's not what I need. I just need a signal booster, so I'm gonna um, look elsewhere. I mean, I'm not in a remote area at all by any means. It's just where I am in the building that I can't do anything about. That recently, in the past couple months, the signal is just degraded for some reason, and I did experiment with trading on the Interactive Brokers app. Um, and it seemed that it was lightning fast and a lot more reliable, and it did not lose the PC connection that I had with the web trader open at the same time with Thinkorswim charts. Thinkorswim, for some reason, um, it didn't lose its connection. It might lag a few seconds or so, but I never had a disconnect, and so either way, we'll see how trading with the app goes with IB and looking at other options as far as boosting a signal goes. So, because I trade with a mobile hotspot, and it's just been bad news lately. It's frustrating. So anyway, uh, BKS. There's been it's been in a pretty good move up from this last earnings move, and it has some steady volume increasing. It's at this little resistance area right around 850. And it's Barnes and Nobles, so it's everybody knows what Barnes and Noble is. It's that retail bookstore, and retail has had a little bit of a pop lately for whatever reason. And if this can break through this 850 area, this might put in a move, towards 9. This is a big congestion area, so I wouldn't hope for too much, but it can range during the day on these resistance area breaks, so 850 might be the next one to get above for that next move up to put in 50 cents or so. So gonna keep that on watch for a long play. BBG, same. It's got a pretty decent chart pattern. Hold on, let me fix this chart real quick. Okay, here we go. There's several of these tickers that I'm going over. They have earnings coming up, so I would pay attention to them because it's the earnings that may push these through these resistance areas. But BBG, just because of the stock setup, and it's an oil stock, and so it's at this resistance area, and the earnings move, which is on tomorrow, by the way. Is that tomorrow? No, this is on Tuesday. Might give this a pop. So it's just about the move to the next area, which could, $4 or so. It's in a progressive trend line down, but it might put in this double bottom here, so could have a swing back up. But keep a watch on earnings on this, and it's got pretty good. It's over 1 million shares every day, just about. So it's got some movement, and definitely going to keep this one on watch for a break to the upside potentially. But these are based on earnings. Not going to do anything before earnings. Just going to keep an eye on the earnings and the reaction to that. ARWR, same thing. Earnings coming up, and it's in this channel. It's been stuck here for a while. But notice how around earnings, volume picks up, and it's doing it the same here. So it is working on this resistance break. Again, pending earnings. I'm not going to do anything before earnings. I'm going to let this come into earnings and see how these play out. So just, very simple support resistance breaks here. On the short side of things, RCII has had some static lately as far as the front office goes. So, and it's at a resistance area. They had an earnings miss here, and Engage Capital calls on Renter Center CEO Mark Spees to cease mischaracterizations to investors, calls on incumbent directors to act as fiduciaries for stockholders or resign. So there's some heat coming in here, and it's at a top. Volume hasn't really tapered off. You kind of want to see that at a top, where interest is waning sort of. So this might be an interesting play if you get a move to the downside. I think this was stuck in our range on Friday after earnings. It didn't do much, and it kind of lost interest at the end. So there might be a move down right at the open. But going to keep this on watch for a possible short move. A lot of support here at this 1250 area, though, so keep an eye on that if you're going to be paying attention to this. Another possible short play is TK. Again, earnings coming up. Had this big gap up. It's another energy stock. And the people are saying that oil is overextended when it's approaching 50 because there's no reasoning for it to move up, and TK has matched this high from back in April or so, right around $10 or so, and earnings are coming up, and if it's a bad news, this could gap fill back down to this $8 and change area. So it's on watch just to see a reaction to how earnings play out. On a miss, this could be a good move back down. But again, watch this $9 area, congestion here. So it's going to have to get through that first. But just because it's overextended, but got a lot of volume increase coming in because it's another energy stock. But this could put in a move to the downside. But again, it's pending earnings. It's going to be interesting to see how these energy stocks played out with oil falling, or excuse me, oil rising the past month or so. But it's all up to the chart. So just simple plays or simple ideas on these plays here. And I think 1 week I'm going to do an experiment. And actually, this is kind of a busy chart. Let me go to something a little bit zoomed in here on HTZ, because if you go back and study these previous resistance and support areas and how it reacts or can react to them, you can trade a handful of stocks every week instead of doing research and homework and all this other stuff. Is if you can find one of these bounce plays that are, nothing's 100%, but if you study setups, patterns, and volume, you could trade this all week. So I think one week I'm going to set aside, and this is going both ways. You're selling at resistance areas and you're buying at support areas. Very simple stuff. I'm going to see how it goes just watching one stock, or do my best to watch one stock and just play it, because HTZ is putting in some very nice moves both ways, and it'd be would want to see how that comes out on earnings on this. This is coming up. This has a ways to go before earnings. 2 weeks, not next week, following week. So, but it's double topping here. It's going to be interesting. Volume's tapering off at the top. So this might put in a good move down at some point. But again, it's about support and resistance. So, and HTZ is a pretty good one to play for that. I'm sure there's others out there. But either way, That's what's going on for the week ahead, pending other stuff is coming up. Just some real simple stuff for you might considering put on watch. That's it. I'll be trading from my Interactive Brokers phone app this week. So I'm thinking of my work schedule. Most of the time, I either get to work at 5:45 or at about 8:30. And when you get to work at 8:30, that's not cool right before the market opens or at the market opens. So that's kind of, you take what you can get. Anyway, you guys trade smart and we'll catch up.